Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Friday. Happy Friday. Happy weekend for those of you who have the weekend off. I just wanted to pop on and give you a quick garden update with how things are going. A couple of these guys are just about a week out from harvesting, so let's go check it out. So I'll start with our green beans. They have about, from what I counted from the day that I planted them, they have about another week, like 5 to 7 days to go. This one, I think, was the first bean to actually sprout, so it is huge. It's almost ready. These over here behind it, getting pretty close. Super exciting. Got my strawberry plants. This one's been a little bit slower than this one. I was starting to get worried about it, but it did just sprout a flower overnight. This one we've harvested quite a few strawberries from, and they just keep growing over here on this side. Our tomatoes, they're starting to get pretty close to being done, obviously, especially this one. But since we last checked in, there's been so much more development on this plant. The most exciting part, I think, though, is this poor little pathetic tomato plant that I thought wasn't going to make it and surprised me yesterday with 2 blooms. So that is a good sign that we might actually get some fruit off of this little guy that I thought was going to die, especially when I transplanted it. I actually got the seed for this plant from the Dollar General. So I had zero faith in it from the start, which I should have more faith in my plants, I guess, but it has actually really shocked me, not only with the fact that it's still alive, but just how well it's doing. We've got our okra. This one has a few more weeks on it, I believe. I have to go check my calendar, but I'm super excited because I love fried okra. So this one needs to hurry up. So now we have the butternut squash. You could tell by the distinct shape of it there. Shapes like kind of like a nut, but kind of like a bell at the same time. So that isn't the only one either, but I just noticed it this morning. You get this one. There's a couple others.
Yeah, you got this one
right here. So I had no idea. I thought this one was gonna take forever, but it actually, aside from a couple floppy leaves, is doing a great job. It is the longest growing out of the 3 squash plants that I have. It's about 82 days, while the others are like in the 60s, I think. So no shock that that one's gonna take about another, I think, month. Moving on over to our pepper plants. They've really started to pump out the flowers here, and they're starting to droop over a little bit, which tells me that the peppers, we should start seeing peppers any time now. I thought that we would have them before now, but this being my first year doing this, I'm learning a lot of things. Our onions are a hot mess, but they are doing great. We were gonna do the green onions, but we decided to let them grow and actually use the white onions that'll come. Or actually, I think these are a yellow variety. Pretty sure the ones that I planted, maybe they're white. I can't remember. It's terrible. But anyway, we decided to go with the bigger onions as opposed to just cutting off this part and using it. One of the most exciting things is our yellow long neck squash. I love squash. I used to love picking it when I was a kid with my grandma, and we have a few. It's hard to get back in there and see, but we do have like 3 or 4 back in there that are growing. The zucchini squash had one, but the plant rejected the fruit and so it fell off. I had no idea that was going on, but thank God for wonderful gardening friends who know a heck of a lot more than I do. So the watermelon is another long one. It can take up to like 3 months to produce fruit. So these have got a ways to go, but they are starting to pop out here on every single one. So they are growing.
They have hair on them.
You have hair on you.
Oh.
And then we have our blueberries, which of course they have, you know, they're getting there, but they have a few more weeks to go too. And last but not least, the cabbage. I'm actually really surprised at how well these are doing because it has been so hot recently. And these are technically, if I'm not mistaken, a cooler weather crop. But they do take about 85 days or so to harvest. So they got a little bit to go. And if you've been following us on Instagram, you know that every morning this week we've gone out and harvested mulberries from our mulberry tree that we didn't even realize that we had. I thought there was one growing back out that way. And then one day my husband and I were standing out on the back deck. We were about, I don't know, right over here. But the evening sun caught that tree just right, and it lit up. You could just see silhouettes of berries all over it, or what I thought were berries. So I walked over and took a look, and sure enough, there they all are. Mind you, there were a lot more, but we have harvested quite a bit. We got 6 cups one day, 6.5 the other day. We got 2.5, so what is that, 6, 12.5, like probably about 15 cups of mulberries off of this one tree. I'm gonna have to have my husband come out and help me get the rest of them down because it goes up super high. And even with my hockey stick over there and my ladder,
That's Maddie's hockey stick.
I cannot, excuse me, Maddie's hockey stick. I cannot reach them. So that's the update, you guys. Everything is growing pretty freaking well. We've had a couple little losses, especially with the squash plant, but it's super exciting. And come next weekend's video, we should be able to show you guys what else we have brought in. So have a good weekend, you guys. We'll check in next weekend and we will talk to you later. Thanks for joining us. Bye.